Good day, night, evening, afternoon, dusk, dawn, and whatever other time it may be that I can add to the list. Speaking of lists, actually, why don't you go take a look at TF2 Wiki's items list for this year's Meet the Inventory resume. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to personally review every single item in the game, whether alone or in a set, doesn't matter. I'm going to start with the vanilla sets, and try to keep them in an order I'm comfortable with, the classic offense, defense, support order of things. So, with no further ado, let's take advantage of this whole introductory sequence and segue right into my first set review, the vanilla scat. The scattergun, a beautiful flower of the newly invented assembly line technology, aka mass production, invented by none other than Saxon Hale himself. This brilliant work of metal and wooden, leather, and stuff was probably assembled in 10 minutes, and offers an incredible 100% guarantee that it will not randomly burst into flames. What goes on inside it basically goes along the lines of you pull a lever which teleports excited slugs from your ammo bag into the scattergun, and then pull another smaller lever to make small bits of metal fly out hurting people. Naturally, as is proper for any real Manco product, it can only be so good, and this particular weapon stays true to its name. It scatters said bits of metal. So efficiently does it scatter them, in fact, that occasionally you'll find it will draw you a fine outline of whoever you're pointing it at without so much as scratching them. But we aren't here to complain about Manco's questionably balanced designs, but rather to think about how brilliant this weapon really is. The point of it is, the closer you get, the more of a punch you can pack with it. This seems simple, but is complicated by the fact that only the Agile Scout can use it, creating a unique glass cannon class which can obliterate even the heavy in as little as 3 shots when used well, but can only stay alive long enough to do so if you've learned to dodge damage as you can't soak it up. Honestly, the weapon itself would probably be overpowered if it weren't so bloody hard to use. The 6-shot clip should allow you to effectively eliminate any class without having any ammo problems, but if you can't land half your shots, you might end up spending equal amount of time sprinting around your target reloading as actually pumping their face full of lead for as much as 108 damage per shot. Next up is the pistol, one of the few multi-class weapons in the game. The pistol is an extremely effective tool to finish off weakened opponents, presenting a heckle your victims with a steady flow of less damage effect as a counterpart to the scattergun's hurt them significantly once in a while effect. However, just like the scattergun, if you can't aim, you're in trouble because you might shoot 12 shots, have to reload, and only one made contact for minimal damage. Lucky for you, the reload is extremely fast on the pistol, but unlucky for you, your opponent also had a pistol and knew how to aim, landing 7 of his 12 shots for an astounding 140 damage. You really need to work on your aim with this weapon. However, just because you suck now, don't lose hope. Sometimes that one bullet of 12 will make all the difference. Say you got a meat shot on a spy for 108 damage, leaving him with 17 health, one shot from your pistol at medium-long range will finish him off and do the job it was made for. And finally, we have the baseball bat. This finely crafted aluminum baseball bat, complete with its trademark dent in the side, is deadly when random crits are activated, which is unfortunately never when it counts. Frankly, with random crits turned off, its fast firing rate doesn't make up at all for its low damage because you could easily do more with less danger just by taking out your pistol. And switching weapons instead of reloading to get more damage output is not a valid excuse when reloading your pistol takes literally less than half a second. Really, the only situations in which your bat would be useful is when you're completely out of ammo or when you're trolling your team by not counting as anything more than a retard with a baseball bat. However, that doesn't make it a bad choice for a bat. Sometimes it's good to settle with this simply because the scout doesn't really need a bat for attacking, and using this one means you don't have to suffer the other bat's downgrades. Well, all that being said, I'm going to leave this episode on the note that vanilla baseball bat is useless in a useful way. I hope that you all had as much fun as I did with this. See you around, and don't forget to subscribe, you slimy bastards.